I've been a fan of Kyle Dake for a long time. In fact, when I was little, I wrestled. I had a Kyle Dake headgear. My headgear had KD on the side. He's the real KD in my opinion. I wore Cornell socks when I used to wrestle. Every time I stepped on the mount, I had Cornell socks on because of Kyle Dake. I was a big Kyle Dake fan, and he opened to start this tournament. He opened at minus 700 to win this tournament. Obviously, the guy that beat him at the World Championships is not going to be at this event. Russia, no Russian wrestler, wrestling under Russia is at this event. They all dropped out. He opened minus 700. He's now minus 430 on FanDuel. I'm sorry, that is the right move. The down is the right move. As much as I hate to say it, that was the right move. This is a guy that had one of the most disappointing tournaments, whatever you want to call it, 3 years ago at the last Olympic Games. Lost to Cotty, guy who took silver, but he got teched bad. And Cotty's unseeded in this bracket. He can get Cotty round one, match one. And then Zamalov, who's the second best odds here, he can get him round one. Or he can get him round two, because they're both unseeded. And they're both going to be randomly drawn in. That's why the number moved down. I think anytime Kyle Dake's going to step on the mat, he's going to have a guy that can believe he can beat him. I don't think there's anyone that he's going to wrestle that is a little bit scared. Maybe a Frank Chamizo, just because Frank Chamizo spent some time here in America wrestling with them. But Zamalov and Cotty are not going to be afraid of Kyle Dake. Not at all. And, well, like I said, disappointment 3 years ago. Disappointment. Arguably, Flow Wrestling went out and said that was the most disappointing loss in American wrestling history. And you can't even imagine as a fan watching that, as a guy that I looked up to my whole wrestling career, was very disappointing. But this has to be the gold medal this year. I remember when Kyle Dake won his first world championship. This has to be his first Olympic championship. Has to be. All right, you get the best guy in the world is not there. He's not there. And yes, you can draw the top two guys first round, second round, or you can draw them not even on your side. They might be on the other side. And he might be able to go all the way to the finals without even seeing them, right? It's a tough ask. It's a tough ask. And, of course, in the quarterfinal, he might get the guy from Iran who he only beat 2-2 at the World Championship last year on criteria. That guy's going in there believing he could beat him, right? I don't think there's anyone that Kyle Dake intimidates. Like if a Dale Taylor or someone Yazdani walked in the mat, I think they actually intimidate guys. Like, how am I going to beat this guy? Maybe Prime Jordan Burroughs. I think there's a lot of people that are most likely intimidated by that guy. I understand minus 430. He's a big name, right? One of the biggest names probably at this event in American wrestling. Now that David Taylor's not there. This might get a lot of views. My Spencer Lee one popped off. I thank you guys. I think everyone hit the subscribe button from that video. It's got to be a gold. It's got to be a gold. Has to be a gold. That's probably the title of this video. Kyle Dake has to win gold. It's going to be tough. I mean, it's the Olympic Games. Every match is going to be tough. But he just has to bounce back from the disappointment that happened 3 years ago. Has to be better this time. And I hope it will be. I'll put on my Cornell socks for him, and I'll put him on if that's what it really needs to come to here. Kyle Dake hopefully gets gold at the Olympic Games. I'm Josh Wesley.